Welcome to Canada. Bienvenue au Canada. I'm Cindy Wasser. I am the founder of Hope Springs Fertility Law, located in Toronto, Ontario. We are the largest fertility law firm in Canada. And large does not mean large. We're 5 people. That's the largest. It's all we do is fertility law. I myself became a fertility lawyer because I had a child through surrogacy and egg donation. For about 25 years, I was one of Canada's most famous criminal defense lawyers. Met my husband at 42 and found out I was too old to make a baby. So I've gone through the whole process. And what I found was a lawyer needed to really care for her clients as well. And so the moment, well, within an hour of Edda's birth, I turned to my husband and said, the process in Canada is going to change. And that's how I became a fertility lawyer. One of the things I love doing about fertility law, because I was a criminal defense lawyer, is actually changing the law and making it better. My mother, if she was still around, would say Cindy was never satisfied with anything in life. So, as good as Canada is, I keep saying we can be better, right? So, we have fantastic laws. I love to start with the end, which is you're holding your baby. You've made it. And now you have to go home. And most of you will say, oh, we want to stay in Canada for a month or two. It's so beautiful. We want to be on vacation. I'm going to go, uh-huh. Have you told your parents that? Because everyone at home is going to say, when are you coming home? So then after you've told me you're staying for 6 weeks, 3 days later you're going to say, can you get us home like in a week? And so yes, here's how it works. Anyone born on Canadian soil is automatically a Canadian. How's that for a good start? You don't apply for citizenship if you're born there. It's yours. Any Canadian is entitled to a Canadian passport. That's something for which you must apply. And only the parents may do so. So you must be the parents to apply for your child's passport. You will bring a Canadian baby back home. That Canadian baby is a visitor in your home, much like I would be visiting you. You must do something about that when you get home. So, you need to speak to a local lawyer in your native country who knows something about this at the beginning, like next week, for those of you who are new to this process, would be good, to find out what you would need to do to give that baby your citizenship and for you to obtain proper parental rights in your country. I talked to that lawyer. I don't want to hear it from you, no offense. I want to hear it from your lawyer because if the lawyer was wrong, that's better for you to sue than for you to sue yourself. So I want the instructions from your lawyer. Here's the thing about Canada. You probably know a lot of this. We help. We're peacekeeping. We go to countries and offer peacekeeping services. We negotiate peace. We have the largest refugee program of any country. We have huge international development aid. And in this area, we are really, truly appalled about the way many of you are treated back home. So we will make you parents in Canada. You must be 18. Apart from that, we don't really care what your sexual orientation is, whether you're married or not, whether you start as a woman and end as a man or vice versa. One thing we do have is paper. We were raised in the forestry industry. Our natural resources is what made us famous. And we are still trying in the age of computers to keep the forestry industry alive, apparently. So there's an abundance of original paperwork that needs to be handed in. And when you have a baby, what you will discover, as even I did, is that you're semi-brain dead. And spelling your own name becomes a challenge. So your lawyer should do that for you. And that's where we come into it. There's a lot of paperwork to make you parents, but it happens. I only have a few minutes, so I want to talk about how that happens as the most important thing to you, I think. We have provinces in Canada. We're a federated government. Ottawa has the authority to say, yes, surrogacy is good. And you can't pay surrogates, it's altruistic. They get reimbursed for all of their expenses, and it's very generously dealt with and safely dealt with. Everyone has health care, Ottawa says. So we all have health care, but the provinces figure out how to give us the health care. So your surrogate, no matter what province she lives in, will have provincial health care covering her and the fetus. The moment the baby's born, it is a human being and it is entitled to its own health care. Only where will it reside? Your parents are calling you to come home, remember that part? So it's not going to be a resident, therefore it's not getting our health care. You must start taking care of your baby. That's the difficult part about parenthood, but it's also a joy. But the first thing is you must have newborn health insurance, which doesn't cost very much, and we mostly work with Allianz Worldwide, and you'll meet Virginia tomorrow on the budgeting panel. We work with her. For those of you who have trouble getting Allianz, she also reviews your policies if you have your own. She's fantastic. Buy newborn health insurance, and we talk a lot about that when we have a consultation. Birth registration is one of those things that's also provincially governed. Fundamentally, across the country, you can register. Exactly how much paper, what it looks like, and how long it takes will differ slightly. So your lawyer must be up to standards with knowing how the changes develop in provinces. Not only do we have laws that are made, we have laws that are created by our judges that may not be well published. So your lawyer must know what's going on and how a judge is reacting in any given province. Fundamentally, the traditional method is the baby's born, your lawyer applies to the court and asks the judge to declare that you, and not the surrogate, are the parents. In some countries, however, you need that surrogate to stay on the birth certificate. Well, that's okay. We can do that too. Just tell us. Have your lawyer tell us. In some countries, we will be told one of the fathers, not both. Well, we can do that too. But we have to know in the province at the beginning whether you need that, because some provinces say whoever's on the surrogacy contract must register. So if both of you entered into the contract, you're both going to have to register. So you tell me at the beginning and I only name the one of you. Ontario, where I live, where things really started to rock and roll about 11 years ago when I was told I had to go to court and be declared the mother of my husband's child, changed. In Ontario, because I did not feel I should beg to become a parent, and neither should you, in my view. In Ontario, you are recognized as the legal parents at the moment of birth. I still get upset about it, emotional. It is a beautiful feeling. Okay, you register the birth as parents, lots of paperwork, but you are the legal parents. It takes 7 days before you can register that. Not, as I've heard it be told, to let the surrogate change her mind and cool off. No, the law says you are the parents. She cannot. It's so that the bad lawyers don't go to the hospital and shove a paper in her face right there and say, sign. The surrogate's asked for some time. But you can cut the cord if you're there. You have the baby in your room. You go home with your baby. And we register the birth. Most of my clients go home 14 to 16 days after birth with a Canadian passport. It's remarkable. I have pamphlets. I have a sign-up sheet if you want consultations. I have a table downstairs, and I'll be on the panel for the Netherlands tomorrow. Please reach out for a complimentary consultation in the next few weeks so we can go over this. Sorry, I'm only getting